In the early morning hours of Sunday, December the 19th, 2021, the Polk County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from a disabled man stating that his house was on fire and he was trapped inside. Corporal Ellison and Deputy Darin responded to the house fire. Moments before arriving, they were advised by dispatch that they had lost contact with the male subject. Corporal Ellison proceeded on to the fully engulfed porch of the residence, followed by Deputy Darin. There, Corporal Ellison located the male subject and was able to carry him to safety. The Polk County Sheriff's Office thanks Corporal Ellison and Deputy Brooks for their selfless act of service on this day.
Okay, so can you just say your first and last name, spell it for me, and then say your title?
Yes, ma'am. First name's Roper, R-O-P-E-R. Last name's Ellison, E-L-L-I-S-O-N, and I'm a corporal at the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
So can you tell me a little bit about the thoughts that ran through your head Sunday morning, when this occurred?
So when it first started off, we were about to get off, so just relaxed, low level, nothing. Call drops, and we start heading in that direction. And honestly, the only thing that was rolling through my mind is just the facts of the call. As far as, the gentleman's disabled, he has no use of his legs and his left arm. He's in a wheelchair, and he's making his way towards the front of the residence. I asked my dispatcher, and I said, hey, how much does he weigh? Because I'm assuming I'm going to have to carry him. And she's spitting facts at me, which was great. And lay out of the house, he's making his way to the front door, and we lose contact. So you got that oh no moment, what's going on? So we arrive, and honestly, nothing's going through my head other than, get out of the car, move fast. Last known locations, he was making it to the front door. So moving to the front door, I start calling out, announcing myself Sheriff's Office, and then I hear it, and straight through the fire. As far as knowing if it was hot or not, I didn't feel nothing until afterwards, when everything calmed down and all the juices started flowing and started tingling and burns and blisters and all that stuff.
So you just, without hesitation, threw him on your shoulders and carried him out?
Yeah. Fireman carry, picked him right up, threw him over my shoulder. That's my partner to keep moving forward, moving stuff out of the way, and we're making our way out.
So would you consider yourself a hero? You saved this man's life.
When we first got there, everything was all done. It was just like another day of work. And then somebody had to tell me that, hey, this doesn't happen all the time, So at the end of all things, now, yeah, because it just doesn't happen all the time. It's true, yes, it doesn't happen. But at the time, just another day of work.
And then how does it feel to receive this award today?
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Something else I can add to the list.
And then in the future, what do you hope to continue doing?
My plans are retiring here. It's my county. It's my home. I can't go work somewhere else and come back here. I feel like I don't do nothing for my family, my hometown, and everything. So I plan to work here for as long as possible and continue to clean up my county and make the best of it.
And then, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good right there.
Thank you so much.
One thing, how far were you from when the fire first dropped? How far away were you?
We were at the office, and so it was all the way down 2457. A normal drive, I'd probably say it's probably 15 minutes.
Oh, gosh.
But we weren't driving normal.
Right.
So I want to say I remember my GPS saying maybe 8 minutes, but I don't even think we made it there in 8 minutes.
And then
we were rolling.
And then the man that was involved in the fire, he's okay. Did he have to go to the hospital or anything?
No, he actually refused EMS. He didn't need nothing.
Really?
He was good to go. Yeah.
Wow. How old was he? Do you know?
64.
64.
I want to say that might be.
And he's okay.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Wow.
I carried him to the car, and then we moved our car so the firefighters can get there. And then I knocked on his neighbor's door. He asked me to knock on the door and make contact with them. Knocked on the door, and I was like, "Hey, your neighbor's house is on fire. Can I save him on your couch?" And then I picked him up and carried him up the stairs in their house too.
What were you thinking when you turned around and saw that porch, the whole thing erupt just as you got out of there?
Actually, me and Darin were talking about it after the fact, and it was like seconds. I think my captain said 20 seconds later it was fully engulfed. And we're superstitious, so we're like, oh, if we didn't drive fast enough, something happened. We got there perfect time. Everything lined up, stars aligned, perfect. So, turned around and we're like, wow, this is happening, this is real. And that's it.
Okay.
That's all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I'm ready to go here.
Again, it's not live, so don't worry.
You want some light? Take that shadow out of the hand or not?
Huh?
You want some light?
All right, so that picks up pretty well. If you don't mind, can you say your first and last name, spell it for me, and then say your title?
First name's Darin, D-A-R-I-N. Last name's Brooks, B-R-O-O-K-S. I'm a deputy with Polk County Sheriff's Office.
So can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling today after receiving this award?
I'm honored, to say the least. I don't really expect an award whenever, it's kind of our job. It's what I signed up to do. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's an award just serving. So I feel honored to be receiving that today.
Can you tell me a little bit about what went through your head? I can't imagine the types of emotions on such a challenging day, especially right after, seconds after you rescued this man. The house was burst into flames.
Up until the point of seeing Corporal Ellison going, he was the first one to go up on the porch. Up until that point, I wasn't thinking anything, but whenever I saw him, I was like, okay, it's your turn. I couldn't let him go by himself. That's my brother. If he failed, I had to be there to pick him up. So until that point, he ran the show. He's a corporal for a reason. He made good calls. He asked good questions for the dispatch. I was just there. I was driving right behind him, thinking about, hey, I was actually listening to music, trying to calm myself down because it is an adrenaline rush. So, but up until that point of him going up on the porch first, I think it was free floating. I guess you could say my mind was free.
So how are you feeling today? Would you consider yourself a hero?
Like I was joking with Corporal Ellison, I'm an assistant hero. And to the point, hero's that's a strong term. There's a lot of heroes in American history and the world. Do I consider myself a hero? Probably not. I consider myself a deputy at the Polk County Sheriff's Office, and that's what I'm supposed to do. So.
And then just for in the future, what do you hope to continue doing?
I hope to be, a leader one day. I hope to be, a great leader like Sheriff Lyons. I plan on staying here. I want to be able to, in return, do this for some of my deputies one day.
And then how does it feel to just be honored today in front of, your coworkers and in front of Sheriff Lyons?
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. We'll go with that.
I'm good.
Thank you so much. All right. So when you're ready, can you just say your first and last name?
Darin Lyons.
And then can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to honor these two people today?
I wanted to honor these guys today for the simple fact is that so often their recognition just goes unheard of. The heroism and the graciousness that these guys display each and every day a lot of times gets lost. Seems like the only thing that is heard about from law enforcement is just the bad things that one or two do, and then it's cast upon the entire profession. But I want to make for sure that the world knows, that Polk County especially knows that they have officers like these that work for them.
Can you tell me some words that you used to describe them and their act of what they went through on Sunday?
When I'm sitting here listening to those two young men's interviews, it even instilled in me more about the character that these guys have. When I use the word courageous, heroes, selflessness, true honor, those are some of the words that come to mind. These are the type of guys that make sheriffs and chiefs good administrators. A lot of times the guys who are actually doing the work get lost. Everybody talks about the great things that sheriffs and chiefs do, when in actuality, what we're doing or what you see is off of the work that those guys are doing every single day and every single night.
And so why did you think a ceremony such as this was necessary for what they did? Why would you call them heroes, and why do they deserve the life-saving award?
Everybody has a different, I guess, a different idea or why would we do this, why we do this. My reasoning was for the simple fact is that a lot of time it goes unnoticed. And these are the type of guys that are going out every day, putting their life on the line. And I'll say this, these are the type of guys that will go out and put their life on the line, even sometimes when they're some of the lowest paid professions across this country. But they raised their hand and they took an oath. And they go out each and every day and each and every night to make for sure that these streets and these neighborhoods are as safe as we can possibly make them.
And then, do you happen to know the exact age of the man that was rescued?
I don't.
Okay. Just older.
He was an elderly gentleman.
And then he was okay? He didn't have to go to the hospital?
He didn't have to go to the hospital. He was treated, but just like my officers, he did have some slight burns, from the heat. As you see, if you watch the video, you'll see that it was a pretty intense fire. And so, by the grace of God, we came out when no one had to be hospitalized, just treated and released on the scene.
So treated just by,
taking a look at them, put a little water on them, give them some advice about, hey, if this thing starts to blister, you may want to seek, further medical attention.
So it was EMS services that looked him over?
Yes,
or?
EMS services there on the scene.
And then the time that you responded to the call, do you remember?
5:37 in the morning. Sometimes you get lost in time and locations. When you have scenes like this, you don't forget those times. You don't forget those locations. But again, when you hear that call, officer help, or officers hurt, it sticks. It's a pit in your stomach until you can get there and make for sure, hey, my kids are good. They're good.
And they're okay, and they saved a life too. Everyone's okay.
Everybody's good.
Is that kind of what you strive for daily?
That's what I strive for. That's what we all strive for daily here. That we be able to go out and we make an impact. That we be able to go out and do our best. And I say this is that we be able to work with the communities to make their communities safer. This is not a profession anymore where law enforcement can be the all-in-all solution. This is one where we all going to have to work together. But what makes me feel so much better is when I got officers like these two that are out there leading the charge.
And then just my last question, do you happen to know the ages of the officers? I forgot to ask them, but I can also ask them and write it down.
I don't remember the ages.
Yeah, that's good.
I just call them my kids.
Yeah, I can ask them.
The most experience has been right at 3 years, 2.5 years. 3 years. And the other just a little over a year and a half. These are brand new officers.
3.5.
But this is what we have. Can you imagine the caliber of officers that they are today? Can you imagine 10 years from now? I'm excited just about the thought of the future with, having officers like this.
Perfect.
Our honorees on today, Corporal Ellison, Deputy Brooks. I am a very proud sheriff. And it's, I guess one of the things that's even a little different from others is that both of these officers, somewhere or another, I am embedded or I know their families. School with one of my mom, known one's auntie and other cousins from daycare. So it's when I say family, I truly mean family. And so I am honored to be able to stand here today and talk about the bravery and courage that these two young men displayed this past Sunday. See, a lot of times what we do is we hear about the bad things that law enforcement that's coming across. And we never get to hear about the courage, the honor, the bravery, the selflessness that these guys display every single day. These guys get out of their beds, they leave their wives and children at home, and they do so with not even the knowledge, only with the hope and faith that they'll be able to return home that afternoon, but not even not even the knowledge of knowing that they'll be able to return to their families on that afternoon. So when I start talking about honor and selflessness, this is what these guys display every single day when they leave home. To go out and serve a community of a lot of folks that they don't even know, but care less not about. They out there and they're serving, giving their all. And even in some places, in some parts, and in some instances, even their lives. Because they just have the love for humanity. They have the love of their community. And that's one of the things that I guess I'm so grateful for, is that here in-house, I have a lot of guys who work for me who are Polk Countyans. They're from Polk County, raised right here. And so they understand, they know the culture, they know the breathing, they know how things work and how they move within the county. So I guess I feel luckier than a lot of others, because these are our kids. These are, and I say that because these guys are a lot younger than I am, but these are our children. These are the guys that have come up behind us, and then they're stepping in our footsteps. And I'm so proud to be able to have these two guys amongst the ranks of all the other officers that I have here, that will be able to one day, when I decide to retire, that these guys I know are going to be there when I'm sitting on my porch. They'll be the ones that's going to be protecting my back as well. So, with that being said, one of the things I had read this, last night, kind of been a couple of sleepless nights. When this all took place on Sunday morning, I had just maybe 30 minutes before this incident happened, had just talked to one of those deputies on the phone. I mean, just solid. He was on point, taking care of his business. Phone hangs up. I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the radio, and I mean, less than 30 minutes, this call drops. And as soon as it drops, man, it's just kind of like the hair on the back of your neck stands up, because it's like, this thing may not go well. And then in the whole time, when dispatch is dispatching this call out, I'm listening to these guys on the radio, and they're on point. Just, where is he at in the house? Is there anyone else in the house? When we get there, where is he at? You can tell already the mindset, where we're going. These guys were taking care of business. And so when I finally got to see the video, I mean, when I finally got to the scene and I got there, I just wanted to give him a hug. Because I'm telling you, it had the hair on the back of your neck standing up. And then when you walk away, tears flow from your eyes. Because selflessness. Because this could have turned out a different way for both. For two of my kids and for their homeowner. Could have turned out a different way, but by the grace of God, we're here today to be able to congratulate and honor these two men. And I'd like for these guys to, if they would, just step forward. Corporal Ellison, Deputy Brooks. General Schwarzkopf said that true courage is being afraid and going ahead and doing the job anyhow. That's what courage is. I'm here to tell you right now, I couldn't be a fireman, and I don't know how I would have reacted in that same situation that these gentlemen, when they showed up on that call that morning. I don't know. But what I do know, that these guys pulled up in front of a home that they described as large fire, which was fully engulfed, exited their patrol vehicles, and went straight into the fire to save a life. No hesitation, no stopping to get the grit, so sometimes we got to stop and tell ourselves, go ahead and do it. They stepped out of those vehicles and went straight into the fire to save that life. And I'm so proud to have these guys here working with me, alongside me, and that they're a part of the Polk County Sheriff's Office, serving the citizens of Polk County. I'll say it, even to the point that sometimes there are folks out there who are working in the fast food distribution who are making more than these guys. But they will still step out regardless of that and do their jobs faithfully with all honor to make sure that everybody in this county is being served and that they're being protected. That's what I call selflessness. Yes. That's what I call courage. Amen. And that's what I call honor. So what I'm going to do first, before we present them with their opinions, I'm going to get them to step to the side and we're going to play the video. Now I will tell you, the video is a little like I say, especially for parents, it's a little awestrucking, but as you see, they're standing here, so they're okay. They got a few little burns, and we had them checked out, you know, but they're here. So the video, you know, will kind of a little tugs on your heartstring a little bit, but I want you to be able to see it.
In the early morning hours of Sunday, December the 19th, 2021, the Polk County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from a disabled man stating that his house was on fire and he was trapped inside. Corporal Ellison and Deputy Darin responded to the house fire. Moments before arriving, they were advised by dispatch that they had lost contact with the male subject. Corporal Ellison proceeded on to the fully engulfed porch of the residence, followed by Deputy Darin. There, Corporal Ellison located the male subject and was able to carry him to safety. The Polk County Sheriff's Office thanks Corporal Ellison and Deputy Brooks for their selfless act of service on this day.
Corporal, I am proud and honored to be able to pin this pin of life-saving, for life-saving on your shirt, and honored to be working by your side.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Deputy Brooks, I am honored to be able to pin this pin for life-saving on you, and honored to be working by your side. Thank you, brother. That's what we on. And it reads as such: Corporal Ellison, on December 19th, 2021, 5:37 hours, you and Deputy Brooks both arrived expediently to a large house fire with knowledge from dispatch that the homeowner was disabled and in a wheelchair and could not exit the residence. Upon arrival, the fire had engulfed the entire residence to include the front porch, roof, and overhang. You and Deputy Brooks both exited your patrol vehicles and ran toward the porch without hesitation or regard for your own safety, and continued running onto the porch through the fire, where you both encountered the homeowner. The homeowner had made his way to the end of the porch, till the porch was unable to continue any further. You then physically picked up the homeowner and placed him over your shoulder and carried him out from the fire to safety to your patrol vehicle, all while suffering minor injuries from the engulfing fire. Corporal Ellison, your quick response and immediate action resulted directly in the saving of the homeowner's life. You demonstrated exceptional performance by intervening in an extremely dangerous situation without regard for your own safety to save a life, which with any intervention would have very likely resulted in death. I would like to formally commend you for your selflessness, actions, which has qualified you for the life-saving award. Thank you for your professionalism, dedicated, and upstanding reflection of the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Brooks, on December the 19th, 2021, 5:37 hours, you and Corporal Ellison arrived expediently to the large house fire, which was knowledge from dispatcher that the homeowner was disabled and in a wheelchair and could not exit the residence. Upon arrival, the fire had already engulfed the entire residence, including the front porch, roof, and overhang. You and Corporal Ellison both exited your patrol vehicles and ran toward the front porch without hesitation and with regard to your own safety, and continued running on until the front porch through the fire, where you both encountered the homeowner. The homeowner had made his way to the end of the porch, but was unable to continue any further, which Corporal Ellison, reaching him first, you then ensured that both your partner and the homeowner made it to safety to their vehicle, to his vehicle, all while suffering minor injuries from the engulfing fire. Deputy Brooks, your quick response and immediate actions resulted directly in the saving of the homeowner's life. You demonstrated exceptional performance by intervening in an extremely dangerous situation without regard for your own safety to save the life which without such intervention would have likely resulted in death. I would like to formally commend you for your selfless actions, which qualify you for the life-saving award. Thank you for your professionalism, dedication, and outstanding reflection of the Polk County Sheriff's Office.
Can y'all look my way for a second?
Yeah.
Y'all can't forget about me.
Excuse me, I can turn this light on.
All right. Yeah, do that.
Yes.
Bad tag team wrestling.
That's what we do on our off days.
We're left out. We're not, a lot of times, when we start talking about heroes, they point to every other profession but ours. I wanted to make sure that today, this is not about the Polk County Sheriff's Office. It's not even about the county of Polk itself. To me, in my heart, it's about my Heavenly Father, whom which we serve, who's given the ability and the strength to these two young men to step out on faith when they exited those vehicles and ran into fire to save a life that they didn't even know. I want the county, I want the world to know that there are heroes who wear badges. And I am proud that these two work alongside me. I appreciate you for coming today. These guys are going to be here for questions if you'd like to talk to them. For the media, we do have copies of the video that you just saw that we'll be handing out. And we also have a press release for you. So if there's anything that we can, any further, well, matter of fact, are there any questions that you would have of me?
Just to add to that video, the sheriff was saying, the end of that video stopped. As soon as these guys rescued the homeowner, got him off that porch, I believe it was at 32 seconds on the film, 52 seconds, the whole porch was engulfed. The wind came through, and you just can't see that, it's just all fire. So it's 20 seconds later, and it would have been bad.
I'm just gonna make a comment. When I saw him run up on that porch, I got nervous.
Yeah, it was.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't, regardless if you're an administrator or if you're just, you work alongside these guys, when the call comes out across the radio, when I heard him say that, well, the deputies are hurt, that is probably one of the most sinkingest feeling that you'll ever experience in law enforcement, in your life. Because because you want to be there, you got to get there to what you can do to help. And when I got there and they both were standing there, and Corporal Ellison said, "Man, that was hot." It was just, when he said that, it eased the tension, but the tears flowed when we left. Because by the grace of God, this thing turned out well.
Yes.
But yes, ma'am.
What was the physical address of the residence?
404 Dunn Riley Drive.
Thank you.
And before we conclude this ceremony, Darin, since he was a baby, yeah. But let me let me say this about these guys, and a lot about a lot of other officers. These guys both had other careers when they came into law enforcement. Darin Evans went and served his country, and then came back home, started a career but they both had that zeal inside that they wanted to do more. They wanted to serve their community. And that's the kind of guys we're talking about. That's the kind of guys that riding up and down the roads in these patrol cars. These are the folks who every day have taken on and just said, I want to do more. I want to serve my community. So when all the talk is being said about law enforcement here and there and all of that, I want you to know what you have here in Polk County. These are the guys that are here. Thank you.